Huh. Hi everybody, Remember Diary here, and it's time for a review on tower defense games on Roblox, which I have already reviewed. However, this isn't just going to be any normal review, rather this is a redux review, or a re-review. I'm going back to this genre and reassessing it, which surprisingly will be my first time doing so, because it is currently my most infamous review. This is important. While I might have some negative takes on it in the past, this time my perspective on this genre has changed in a short amount of time. So let's get into it. Point number 1. Battle passes are problems no matter the game or genre. The problem with this original video is that I've stated that the tower defense games often incentivizes young kids to work hard for cosmetics that aren't useful. While this is somewhat true, it is not to say that this doesn't apply to any type of game that has battle passes. For example, Brawl Stars has the exact same problem that tower defense games have. A regular and then a premium battle pass that's even more incentivized by Supercell from doing quests to get coins, credits, or power points. And oh boy, we all know how much of a problem that is. The original video did seem like I was only critiquing battle passes from tower defense games. In reality, I should be more clear on critiquing battle passes in general. I mean, we all know who popularized it anyways. Point number 2. There are different types of tower defense games. In the original video, I generalized Tower Defense Simulator and X with the gacha type of tower defense games. This includes FNAF Tower Defense, Enemy Defenders, Vanguard, and Toilet Tower Defense. However, they are completely different and shouldn't be in the same room when discussing tower defense games. With Tower Defense Simulator and X, I respect the fact that when you grind for a guaranteed tower. While if you grind for these anime gacha games, you only grind for a chance of a tower, and most likely the tower that you want is ridiculously low. Not to mention that there are also great tower defense games that are on Roblox right now. This comment mentioned the Battle Bricks, which I haven't heard of in years. Still love it though. This other comment also recommends Tower GALATICA, which I will definitely try out. The point is, I was definitely wrong and incorrect in generalizing Tower Defense Simulator and X with these obviously inferior and much more grindier and cash grab type of games. And for just a little side point, the enslaving part was a bit of a stretch. So if you've seen the original title or even the current thumbnail for the video, I've claimed that these tower defense games are enslaving you. However, this is incorrect, as grinding shouldn't be in the same category as being enslaved. Grinding is purely voluntary by the person, while enslaved is involuntary. Speaking of voluntary work, this goes to my next point, which is point number 3. People have preferences of grinding, or it's okay to grind. I came off as hot and started to criticize tower defense games for its only purpose is to grind for towers or cosmetics. However, I want to make it clear that I am not a fan on how they set up their grinding scheme, or in other words, their gameplay loop. But hear me out. That's okay, and this is just my opinion. People do have preferences. And now that I've read most, if not all, your comments, I realized that people like playing tower defense games. I understand that if you like playing tower defense games and their grindy nature, I mean, let's look at Bee Swarm Simulator's player count. There has to be people that love to play that ridiculously grindy aspect of the game. Therefore, I realized that people love these type of core mechanics of video games. I mean, a lot of the grinding aspects comes down to the person's willingness and game's replayability. So I will admit I was a grindy person in Common Initiation and Decaying Winter. It seems that now that in hindsight I just preferred these type of games and was willing to grind, at least in short times, for these type of games. The original video came from a perspective of these games aren't replayable because their gameplay loop and that grinding is terrible. However, I came to the conclusion that grinding is a core aspect of modern video games and that people are willing to play these video games with these type of game loops. But here's the problem. Point number 4. Roblox games have a problem. This isn't just targeting tower defense games anymore, but rather Roblox games in general. It seems that Roblox has been nothing full of microtransactions, paywalls, and greedy developers. We can look at various games like the anime gacha games on Roblox. But I understand why these developers push out microtransactions, paywalls, and subscriptions. Doesn't Roblox take away a chunk of your revenue made from Robux? And are premium payouts even a good way to make Robux? Most likely, in the case of Tower Defense Simulator, they have to pay for their team to continue development. If people want to make Roblox their full-time job, unfortunately, they will have to go measures in which they have to secure money. And don't correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it like a stupidly high tax on DevX in which you convert Robux into USD. This is why I feel for these tower defense games or even Roblox developers in general now. This goes to show that it's extremely hard to make Roblox an actual job, and you'll have to go to extreme measures to even secure money for not only yourself, but for the whole team that you've been working on or with. So, have you given this genre a go? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What are your opinions on it? Leave it down in the comments. You're the best, so what should I review next? See y'all later.